Sullivan. He was one of the people that built the original cottages, and he was famous for his stonework. Now, the original cottages, Jackie, were built by John Doherty.
That's right, yeah, he was the contractor. And the first scheme of cottages that came out, that would be new in the end of the last century. You see, 4 or 5 of them I say here around anyhow.
And the roofing of these houses then was done by Dave Lyons and Connie Lyons.
The Lyonses.
The Lyonses, who did the carpentry. Yeah. Jack the Mason had 2 sons, Jack and Mick.
And 2 daughters, Bridge and Nora. Bridge went to America and she married Curtin. And her grandchildren came around looking about his roots there a few years ago. Both with Solomon's.
Begley, he lives, was the original home of the Lenihans way back to the 1750s. Jackie, you know all the history of the Lenihans?
Yes, my grandfather was born here in 1845. And at that time, this place was owned by a man named Dinscombe, who lived in Cork. He was the landlord. And there was a new road made at the butt of the property. And there were divisions made of the land. And my grandfather's mother, she was a widow woman, and she had 5 or 6 children, and they were evicted about 1852 and put up into the mountain. And another woman, Nell Sheehan, was living further down, and she was a widow, and both of them were evicted, and they were put up into the mountain about 1852. And they're there since, and this place changed hands, of course, for Begley is living now. And that's the story, that when they were proud of their land, they had their rent paid, and they walked from here to Cork and snow on the ground, thinking to get back their land. But they were unsuccessful, they didn't get it back. So they came home and they lived above the mountains, and their families, their ancestors are there yet.
By this time, of course, both of their husbands had died. And
right, they were widow women. They were widow women when they were evicted. That would be about 1852.
And the road Jackie is talking about is down at the bottom of Begley, his property. It's called the Lower Road. Yes. Now, this was built as a relief work during the famine years, mainly so that the people wouldn't die of starvation. And the bridge that was built near the school is called Dunscombe's Bridge, after the landlord, Lord Dunscombe, and this was opened in 1852.